podcasts. And if you've been watching, you'll realize that I'm just a few minutes late because we've been doing 7:34. Or it's 7:34 now. We're trying for 7:30. Um, to be honest with you, I'm sitting here getting everything set up, ready to go. And I know this is going to sound a little weird, but I have one window in my basement, and the light was literally coming in the window and shining right here on my face, and it was driving me crazy. 3 minutes in, the sun has now moved on past my little tiny window, and now I'm ready to start recording. So, welcome after that little rant. We're going to talk about a couple things, obviously Warhammer related. If you've never been here before, that's all we really talk about is tabletop games and tabletop gaming, the painting, the miniatures, everything that goes on with it. The focus here, of course, is Warhammer 40K, but like most people, we get involved with a lot of other different gaming stuff. So welcome in. First thing that I really wanted to talk about, and I am a week late, which is not a big deal. I was on vacation last week. There was a lot of stuff going on, and we kind of rearranged the furniture in the living room, and a lot of that happened on Thursday when I normally record. So I opted to not record a podcast in my tired, sleepy face, and get something out. But what I did do was I figured I'd just hold off, get it started today, and then I could be fresh and new, and there'd be more to talk about. And to be honest with you, one of the biggest things I wanted to talk about was the summer preview, and which was Friday. I think it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But either which way, July 18th. So it was Friday. Okay. So the I think it was Friday that it started. So the information that I really wanted to go over wasn't all out yet till it was done. So it was easier for me to stop, take a step back, record this week, move on. Okay. That being said, the stuff in the summer preview, amazing. If you're a Space Marine player, you're going to be excited about it. There's obviously, and I know this is almost a week out at this point, but I know there's all the new Space Marine stuff. There's Leagues of Votan. There's all kinds of Age of Sigmar stuff. And we're going to go over a lot of the stuff that came out just because I'm really excited to see it. Some of them combat patrols are really cool. Some of them are a little more, shall we say, interesting, but still not a bad concept. So let's get into that. And the first thing that I really wanted to talk about was the characters that they threw out. What good choices. I mean, let's be fair. All the Splinter Codex chapters got a new character. And the first, I'm going to go right down the list. Look, Salamanders, Vulcan Hastan, thank you. They did an excellent job with him, bringing out the fire on not only on the icon, they made that, of course, they painted that spear like it's glowing, molten, but even the ground, they put flames shooting up off the ground. And I'm a big fan of the Avatar miniature, which has the same kind of aesthetic with the flames coming out of the ground. And they didn't miss with Vulcan Hastan at all. He is everything that I really hoped he would be. They give him a couple different head options. Looks really cool. I am ecstatic about Vulcan Hastan. If you're a Salamanders player and you're not looking already to get this model, you should look again because I think they did a fantastic job with it. And of course, that leads me to the next one. And big old Darnith Lysander. They didn't miss with him either. I mean, he's even got the tactical rock. What more can you ask for, right? The Thunderhammer, definitely Imperial Fist looking. The storm shield that he has is just, I think it's just perfect for the model. The head options, again, same thing. 2 different head options. They don't really show any much else that's different on him, but I don't think he has a lot of different warrior options. So, but even like the Terminator head, I think they put just enough dynamic pose into him that he doesn't look plain. And for Terminators, it's kind of difficult. Like most of them, even the ones that are more mobile looking, are still kind of staticky and clumpy looking. Like they're just clodding along the battlefield with big old tank armor. Which, I mean, technically that's what they're doing, but I really like the model. I think it came out great. Even, as far as the Imperial Fist symbol, he's obviously upgraded for the taller Terminators. I think he looks great. I really think he looks amazing. As far as the Raven Guard, I'm not quite sure who this is, and you'll have to excuse me because I'm not a Raven Guard player, nor do I know anybody that's really plays Raven Guard. I know one guy that painted his Space Marines like Raven Guard, but they weren't technically Raven Guard. So, I don't really know who the character is. I guess he's the first captain, but I do really like, he's got the big podium, rock. He's got 3 different head options, which is, interesting. I love how they made the tassels that come straight down the sides on that model. He is fantastic looking. You want to definitely go check him out if you're a Raven Guard player, or, I mean, he could be a captain with jump pack. As long as the option's available, because I know he does have lightning claws. It's kind of a weird mix, but he does look like a good model. I really hope the rules match that model, so he gets his moment in the sun there. The Iron Hands, Kanak Var, excellent choice for a Forge Father, stuff like that. Oh, current Raven Guard chapter master stepped down. Oh, so he's the new Kayvon Shrike. Very cool. Very cool. So I didn't catch that in the lore. Maybe I just missed that. So yeah, he's essentially the new Kayvon Shrike. So definitely, what an amazing model. He really is really cool. Next is that Kanak Var. He's the captain for the Iron Hands. Good Tech Marine model. Tech Marine almost looks like Terminator armor. So I do like, I don't know if that's maybe the way they're going with the Artificer armor, or if he's actually in Terminator armor. I'm trying to look here. It doesn't really say. But the back definitely looks like Terminator armor. Looks really cool. I mean, the whole thing really looks like Terminator armor now that I'm really looking at it. But very cool. Like the Power Mace. Always love those. They had those with the Dark Angel miniatures. I always really liked them. He's got the Stormbolter. And of course the Bionic Eye that sits above him. Very cool model. Very cool. And then White Scars. They got a new Khan. This says he's the right hand of the Great Khan. So he is Subodeng Khan. Interesting choice with the jet bike. I know they obviously went away from the lore that there weren't very many jet bikes around, but I guess he stole one from the Custodes or something, and now he's got a jet bike and the spear, and it almost looks like he's going to jump off the thing and attack somebody. Very dynamic pose. I think he's pretty cool. So I think all 5 of the models are just fantastic. I think that they really picked some good sculpts for these, and definitely go out and take a look at them if you haven't already. The combat patrols, and I'm just going to breeze through these because there's so much to talk about. New combat patrols for Space Marines. Salamanders, they really dug into the Infernus Marines. They get an Invader ATV. They get some Eradicators, and I'm not sure if I think that's a captain in there. He looks really cool. Definitely a good combat patrol if that's something that you're looking into. The Imperial Fists one, I'm going to tell you, to be honest, I think I really want to pick this box set up because I don't necessarily need anything, but I can use the Company of Heroes. I could use the captain. They pick that cool captain with the pose pointing with the power fist. The Intercessors in the background, the Terminators. As a Dark Angels player, I am all about this set. It's such a cool looking combat patrol. I actually would like to just play this combat patrol because I think it would be such a good time. I think it's everything that you want out of combat patrol. The Raven Guard one definitely has the assault, the Intercessors with jump packs, assault Intercessors with jump packs, the captain with jump pack. I wanted to say Chaos Lord with jump pack. Don't shoot me. The captain with the jump pack, and then of course the Invictus Warsuit, and I think there's some. What are those guys? Those are incursors in the background. I think they are. That's not a bad one. It definitely plays into the Raven Guard style. Big fan of that. Huge fan. If you want to play that fast, stealthy Raven Guard theme, it's a really good choice. Iron Hands, I understand what they're doing here. I'm not a big fan of it. This is the first time that I'm like, oh, this is it. I like the Tech Marine. I'm not a big fan of the Firestorm turrets. Heavy Intercessors, regular Intercessors. For me, there's not a lot here. I would never field. Maybe I would play the Tech Marine, but I don't think there'd be anything else that I would really field here that I don't already own. I have 5 Heavy Intercessors. I've got plenty of Intercessors. This one's not really bringing anything to the table for me. Maybe if you're an Iron Hands player, I think it might be a really good choice. 2 of them, Firestorm turrets. I don't know. I'm not sold on it. Again, if you're an Iron Hands player or you like them, maybe they're a good choice. I'm not feeling them. The White Scars, though, I think is another good choice. As far as combat patrols, the only thing that I don't like is they put that named character in there. It really kind of devalues the box. You'll never buy another one because you already have that named character in there and you're never going to use them again. Now, this just occurred to me. I wonder if I could change that named character White Scar into a Samael. That's something to think about. Because if I got that and the 3 Outriders and the Impulsor, that wouldn't be a bad box if I could do some kit bashing and make him Samael. I have never been a big fan of the Samael miniature that's out there. I custom made my own, but I never really, I just never really liked that first one. But that character might just work. I'm going to have to think about that because I think that, oh, dang it. Now it's a worthwhile box, but only because conversion ideas. Yeah, thanks, Jeff. I hadn't even thought about that till just this second, and now I kind of want to do it. He's in a jet bike. He does have better stuff, though. or different gear than what he does. So if you haven't seen some of the other stuff that went with that, there's going to be a new kill team for Death Watch, and then a new kill team for the Necrons, and that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I kind of like that. And then, real quick, I want to dive into Leagues of Votan. So, because they really buffed out some of the army there. They got a new character. The Bury Agnerson, and please, I'm not good with names to begin with, so please don't beat me up over this. Apparently, he was devoured by Fleet Leviathan and came back. Interesting theme. I like that he's got the Tyrannid armor over him, over his suit there. It's really interesting. He actually has a weapon called Bane. It's a Darkstar Glaive. That's pretty cool. But that Tyrannid skull on top, I think that's pretty neat. I like that they really created a story for that guy. They included the Arcanist Evaluators, which look like they have blenders on the end of their gun, but I think they're supposed to be like shock cannons. They're pretty cool looking, and I'm just picking, so I could just see, like the mixer ends on the end of the gun. And again, I just call it as I see it. So I think, but the models themselves look really cool. I think that just the tip of the gun is just a little weird. I'm going to have to maybe meme that out or something like that, because I think that's pretty funny. They get the Memnir Strategist. This is a cool looking model. He is so future techy and cool looking. He's got all the almost like Admech. He's got like the orbs that are sitting on the tentacles or conduits or tethers or whatever you want to call them. I do like this miniature. He's, again, I'm not a huge Leagues of Votan player, but I think this guy's pretty cool. He really reminds me of the fantasy dwarf, almost like the Rune Priests, but definitely gives that huge sci-fi vibe to him. The Ironkin Steeljacks, those are pretty cool. They look a lot like robots. Are they robots? Let me see. No, they're equipped with heavy-duty bodies, equally heavy weapons. All right, so they're just guys in bigger suits, I guess. But they're pretty cool, unless they're just look bigger in the picture. But they look taller. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they look taller than the regular Leagues of Votan. Maybe it's just they're slimmer or something. They are cool looking. They definitely, the sword and pistol, the shotgun looking weapon. Oh, they're robots. Okay. That makes more sense. So I'm like, they just look too tall to be regular Votan. So they're robots. Awesome. Thank you. But they're very cool. They give me almost a similar vibe as the Thousand Sun robots. I guess that's probably where I got the theme, the taller than they look theme. Except they're a little more dynamic than the Thousand Suns ones. So next, the Earthshakers, and I'm assuming those are like underground mortars. Very cool. I like that. I really want to see the rules on those. I haven't seen anything on it yet. But I do like the idea where they're shooting mines underneath the ground. It's so typical dwarfy. I love it. A new vehicle, the Capricus. That thing's pretty cool looking. Another kind of hover tank. very like Mars rover looking. A lot of fun. And then of course their codex. Yay! Anybody that wants to play Leagues of Votann, be excited. The codex is coming sometime this summer. And the combat patrol. Oh, that's very cool. I actually missed that in the update there. That'll be really cool. You get an Einhir champion, 5 Hearthguard, 3 Thunderkins, 10 warriors. I think that's a good box set. That's a good way to start your Leagues of Votann mission if you're just starting them. It's probably not a bad addition if you've already got like the original box and a couple other units. I think it's pretty nice. So if you're into that, that's definitely the way to start. And thanks for the help, Jeff. I appreciate that. What else do we have in this good old mess of previews? Obviously, you got Horus Heresy coming up soon, or out now. Whatever. So that's going to be coming. So if you're a Horus Heresy player, Age of Darkness, they're going to be coming up. Thank you. Liber Strategia, new tome for Legion Imperialis, new Warhammer Underworlds, if you play that. That is the Chaos Druidin against the, what do they call that? Gyrin? Okay. Basically, like you get some new warbands in that. Let me take a peek here. I actually don't play Underworlds, but it's something that I would kind of look forward to. Oh yeah, those are the centaurs, the centaur looking guys. Those are cool. Yeah, I like those a lot. Yeah. And then, that's right. And then there's Cast Dwarves. Yay, Cast Dwarves. So that's a lot of fun for that. Again, I haven't played that, so it's one of those ones that like I just don't want to buy into another box set, but I probably should. After that, they announced more Cast Dwarves. Wait, do they have a different name for them? Dark Duradin. Okay. Or Zaradon. So there's going to be those. There's talking about Flesh Eater Courts and Night Haunts. Logan will be a little excited about the Flesh Eater Courts. He doesn't, or not the Flesh Eater Courts, the Night Haunts. He does not play Age of Sigmar, but he likes the models a whole lot. So he's going to be excited about that. And I actually I saw the Flesh Eater Court, but I didn't catch the Night Haunts. That's pretty cool. So, yeah, if you're looking into that, looks like there's a new Spearhead box. That would be cool. I'm actually like the Night Haunts as well, but he picked them up, so I'm going to let him run with it. And I think that's pretty much it for that. Oh, Tomb Kings. Sorry, I forgot it. Well, the Tomb Kings is for Old World, right? Yeah. So there's Tomb Kings coming out for the Old World. So that's the summer preview. And long and the short, that's what we got coming out over the summer. There's a lot of stuff going on. They are putting out that Titus helmet if you want the official wearable Joy Toy Titus helmet. It looks expensive, but I'm sure people will buy it. To be honest with you, I know there's a lot of companies out there. If you have 3D printers, you could probably 3D print one and get the same kind of effect. There's a lot of companies out there that sell the STLs for printed helmets. And if you know somebody with a printer that's big enough, they can print it all in one shot. And they're really, really nice. In fact, my one friend actually prints one, and I still have to get in contact with him. I want to get a Dark Angels one and to put on the wall back here because I think I deserve one at some point. Um, but the other thing that I wanted to talk about a little bit was um, so in the normal run of what I do normally, I have gotten my two sons into Warhammer. The two things that are news is part of Lake Clan Legends, which is their YouTube channel, which I am also part of. Um, we're going to be doing a crusade campaign for the three of us, really just to get our feet wet and to make sure that we caught up on all the rules and everything is working the way it's supposed to. We're going to be doing different missions and just really running more of the narrative, but using the crusade strategy or the process to make that happen and make it easier to upgrade our units, get it more personalized, stuff like that. When we start that, we talked about it last week. This week, of course, we're probably going to play D&D again, but the following week we are going to update that to the next step, and that next step will be we're going to put it all together and play a couple games, and then we're going to report on it. So when we do that, I'm going to put updates here as well so that I can make everything, go over everything with you guys. And if you want to hear something more, of course, Jeff does say pre-orders for Grey Knights, Black Templars, and the Space Marine Combat Patrols go up this Saturday. All right, so if you're really looking for that, go grab the ones that you want. I know there is also a Warhammer has so many stores across. I forget if it's 200 or 500 or whatever it is. I should be up in this, but they're having. I think it's August 8th. They're having a big. Oops. Oh, okay. Grey Knights, Black Templars. Oh, and Space Wolf Combat Patrols. Okay. Sorry. But what I was saying is they are going to have, I think it's August 8th, they're going to be in all the stores. If you stop down, they're going to have different prizes and giveaways. And if you spend more money, you get free stuff and stuff like that. So I think they're going to have like a celebration. I think that's going to be fun to at least stop in and say hi. And if you're looking for one of these combat patrols, you're going to be over your $100 anyways. So, yeah, go get some free stuff. Free stuff's always good. But again, what I was, sorry, let me double back here. What I was going to say is we were going to do the Crusades. When we do the Crusades, I'm going to update everybody here. Not on a big lengthy thing like we did, like we're going to do over there, but more of a short form. This is the fights that we did. This is how it turned out. And, how it broke down and what we're doing for the next step. So I'm going to keep you guys up to date for that. The next thing that I did want to say is, if you're playing the game now and you're already been playing for a couple of years, I want you to take a few minutes out and tell somebody that's younger than you what you do. Okay. I have been getting Logan and Michael into this, and I never realized that this would kind of happen, but I always had some. So I've been playing Dark Angels for so long. I actually made my own company. I made the 5th company. I also, of course, have Terminators. I have Ravenwing. But I still have models left over that I never painted, that I never worked with. There were some Devastators. There's some just Marines that were laying around. Uh, I had a lot of the road guys because, veterans. And I always planned to do more with them. And I kind of was talking with Logan back and forth, and he plays Blood Angels and he plays Tyranids, and he's been considering jumping into a new faction. He was really leaning into World Eaters, and then he realized that World Eaters is just Blood Angels, but Chaos. And also, it's kind of like it's another assault army, just like Blood Angels are. And Tyranids are the same way. They're an assault army. They're just a different style of assault army. So he's been going back and forth, and he really wants to do a Chaos Space Marine. So with all these extra models that he took, or that I had, I gave to him. And I said, look, if you want to model with them, because let's face it, right? As of right now, Space Marines, you can still use Tactical Marines. You can still use stuff in Legends, but you're not going to go to a tournament. You're not going to, they're working on being underpowered at this point. You can argue it out. This unit's good. This unit's good. But really, I mean, they're Warhammer's trying to push them out of the way. So I kind of just said, look, if you want to do something with them, do something with them. So he did. And he's doing an amazing job with stuff that I was like, I don't know that I'm ever going to touch this stuff. He is creating his own Chaos Space Marine warband. He's got his own theme. We already worked out some of the characters, just because I was helping him with ideas for what he wanted to do. He's actually doing a warband, and this is bear with me. This is a 15-year-old that wanted to make his own stuff, and of course, what do you expect? You expect, that's going to be some overpowered, blah, 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 blah. It's not turning out that way. He's actually creating a warband that is a bunch of thieves. So they're going out in his lore. They're going out and they're stealing armor off the battlefields from any Space Marine battle. So if they find if they find a Dark Angel's pauldron, they will take a pauldron, they will clean it up, they will paint it a different color. He's actually doing blue, so it's like a dark blue. So they painted dark blue. They even leave the Dark Angel's iconography or Ultramarines or whatever. They're picking them up off the battlefield. They're putting them on. So he's using old Tactical Marines with all the old livery and stuff like that, and making a new warband, Chaos Warband, and adding Chaos Warbits to all these guys. So he's got Tactical Marines with the Chaos backpacks with the old wings and stuff like that, because he's like, these guys are short and they're small for Space Marines, but you know what? They're amazing for Legionnaires. They're perfect for Legionnaires. Now, he doesn't have any Legionnaires. They might be a little bit shorter, but we're going to put them on bases. We're going to upsize the bases. We're getting them on the right bases. And his whole theme is great. He took the robed veterans that I had some left over, and he made them into a chosen squad. He took different blades and stuff to give them accursed blades and plasma pistols and stuff like that. He's created his own army. I had picked up cultists from a buddy of mine, and a Hellbrute that I was going to put into my Thousand Sons army. Of course, Thousand Sons lost the Hellbrute, or not the Hellbrute, but the cultists. So I'm like, if you want them, take them. He's got 20 cultists to start off with. He's got, I think he's got 10 Legionnaires at this point, 5 chosen, and I gave him the Hellbrute from the Dark Vengeance box. I think that's right. From the Crimson Slaughter one. I gave him that too. I'm like, build it. I was going to use it, but you know what? Just You're diving into this, build it. I think it's amazing. And this is stuff that I was like, it was in a box in the corner and I hadn't touched some of it for years. And he has put life into all these new models and a story and a theme. And it's pretty cool because he's going to be using Fabius Bile as his special character. And he's actually going to call him the Ghoul, which I kind of gave him the name, but he's the one that goes through and plucks all the gene seeds out of the dead space marines and implants them into these. The cultists are basically aspirants. I didn't come up with any of this stuff. He did. You gotta, like, for this hobby, you gotta share the stuff that you're doing with the next generation, and it's gonna keep it going. Yeah, you're gonna get some really weird stuff sometimes, and you're gonna get some really weird and non-canon crap that you don't want. But there's gonna be these times when you get these characters, these new players that are going to jump in and they're going to be like, oh, look at this new thing I devised. And it's going to be like one of the coolest things ever. Like this is one of those moments where I'm like, I'm so proud of what you've done with what little you had that I can't even explain it. I've told him so many times, we've had discussions about it. What an amazing story that he's created off of something so simple, something that I wasn't going to use anymore. So that's it. I mean, this is his new army. He has a birthday on Monday, so maybe he's getting more stuff, maybe not. I'm not going to say anything because he may watch this before then. But he's got a birthday coming up, so he's going to, and I know he really wants more stuff and he really wants to develop the story, and he's very specific. Like, he wants a Chaos Lord. He wants to get Fabius Bile. He wants to get, I have Cypher painted up for the Dark Angels, for the fallen Dark Angels. He's like, I might put him in because he might be like that one person that could just like jump into a story and then jump back out. And then, it kind of fits the thief pirate theme that he's working with. I'm like, the model's there. I haven't used it. I just had to have it because I wanted to paint it. He's the arch nemesis, if you will, of the Dark Angels. So look, I really think that you really got to get those fresh minds out there. Like Jeff says, get those fresh minds out there, get new stories. Everybody's got some cool themes. You don't always have to play these chapter specific, legion specific stuff. Like, jump out there and just embrace what's out there. Embrace what people are making, the stories they're telling. And, that's why I always like playing those narrative games, because you can create so much story with so little. I mean, Jeff's a good example. Him and I have done plenty of narrative games. We wrote our own story a while back. It was quite a few years ago now, but we wrote our own story with our own heroes, and we've done this for years and years and years and years. Right. It's not all about the tournaments. It's about having fun with your friends and having good times and enjoying everything that you do, and enjoy the game and the community and stuff like that, and just embrace it. It's amazing the stuff that goes on, the stuff that's out there. And that's it. I mean, that's all I got for today. Like, just get out there and embrace the community. Don't be hateful. Don't ruin somebody's day just because it's not what you expect out of the game. Be part of the game. Be part of everything. So on that, I'm going to leave you here. I want to thank everybody who tuned in, everybody that watched, everybody that listened. I know beginning, if I got to work on some of the software stuff, get the glitches out, but and then I'll get more of the pictures and stuff like that. I'm really just not as tech literate as I used to be, so that's the biggest problem. So I'm going to leave you with that. 2 weeks, we'll be back for the podcast. I don't know if I'm going to be on next week or not. If you want, next week is my birthday. If I get enough likes on this video, I will come on next week and we'll do a paint or a chat or something like that for a little bit. But you got to get out there. Likes, comment, subscribe. I mean, you guys got to get out there. If you want to sit and chat with me next week, I need somebody on and talking to. Because next week's actually my birthday. Thursday's my birthday. I have some plans. So, but I want to make sure that, I have family time and stuff like that. But if I get enough likes and subscribes on this or comments on the video, I'll come on and chat with y'all next week. All right. So this is Todd, and from Table Ready Painting, we're here to help you and your models get on the table and get table ready. Thanks, and have a great night.